Hi, I'm Adriana, and today we told you about the most common rental agreement as occasional rent and institutional rent.
One thing you need to remember, if you want to rent in Poland, all of the agreements will be the same as for Polish people. But when it comes to foreigners, the most important thing to know is that here, if you're an European citizen or not. If you're a European citizen, then basically everything is the same. If you're out of the European Union, then what you need is a passport, residential card, your contract with the company that you're working with here, and that will be enough for you to rent a property here in Poland. Landlord, legal persons, or companies connected to the rental business. This is when we will talk about institutional lease. This lease is only valid in written form and is concluded for a definite period of time. Advantages. The advantages of institutional lease is that we do not need substitutional or additional housing or social housing. Swift and easy eviction for the landlord, which means that we will have no problems to evict our tenants. No need for additional registered address, so you will not need to buy any address. Formal errors in this agreement may cause the invalidity of the contract. This agreement is concluded at the notary. It has to submit the fact that the tenant is willing to be executed in the case of not paying or not obliging to the conditions in the agreement. Formal errors in this agreement may cause the invalidity of the contract.
Occasional lease is a special type of lease exclusively for a private person and only for housing purpose. Need to be signed as a notary deed for specified period of time, but not longer than 10 years. With a normal lease, the landlord cannot evict the tenant unless the contract has expired. Occasional lease needs to be a notary deed, which in the tenant states that he can be evicted in case of termination of the contract. In occasional lease, the tenant needs to have additional address, and the owner of the address needs to declare that he will accommodate the tenant in case of eviction. Difficulties with occasional lease can be providing this additional address, especially for foreigners. It needs to be an address in Poland, but it protects the landlord from eventual problems with eviction of the tenant. Occasional lease gives the landlord an option to evict a tenant without providing any additional housing.
What will you find in the agreement? First and foremost, you will definitely find that the tenant must keep the property in great condition as he found it and was rented out. If there is any damage caused by exploration of property, the owner will cover the cost. If you as a tenant causes damage, then you will cover the repair. If there are any damages that occur during your rental and these cause harm to your health, remember that you can terminate the contract whether you were aware of these damages or not. Most importantly, before you sign your agreement, remember to have a protocol of acceptance where you check all the utilities, devices, and technical issues in the property to make sure that you know what you're going to be renting.
For which cause tenants needs to be prepared when signing a rental contract. The lease rent which tenant is obligated to pay in appointed date. Additional payments as utilities, water, electricity, and gas. Other cost is a deposit which you need to pay usually when signing the contract, and its amount of monthly rent of the property. Did you know there is a possibility to buy an address for an occasional lease, but we don't recommend this practice. It will not protect landlord, and also it will not protect you as a tenant.
Did you know that you do not need to be registered at the apartment where you'll be living in order to take your child to school or other institutions. You just need your agreement on the lease or rental.
Thank you for joining us again. It's already our third time, and in 2 weeks' time we will meet again, hopefully, for a next amazing topic.
We'll be very grateful if you tell us what you think about this project, foreign real estate for foreigners. We'll be more than happy to have some kind of feedback. Thank you very much.